At a time in Australia's history when it took extraordinary resilience and courage just to live an ordinary life, those who went on to achieve greatness have become the stuff of legends. Like Sir Sidney Kidman, the greatest cattleman this country has ever produced. At one time, his land holdings were greater than the surface area of the entire United Kingdom. It said he could move his stock from Queensland to South Australia without leaving Kidman land. Photographer and publisher Christo Reid is one of Sir Sidney's great-grandsons, and he's just putting the finishing touches to an amazing book of photographs, most of which have never been seen outside the family before.
The main body of images in the book are taken by my grandfather. He worked for Kidman for, I think, 25 years, and extraordinary documentation, keeping notes, newspaper cuttings, an extraordinary collection of memorabilia. And so when my auntie died recently, I became custodian of those documents. They really were the basis of the book.
The words and images trace Kidman's life and story from the time he left home at 13 with a one-eyed pony to become a drover, through to the fame that had the whole world captivated. And there are some remarkable moments in that story, like his birthday in 1932. When he turned 75, Sir Sidney Kidman's employees put on a huge public rodeo in the parklands in Adelaide and invited everybody to come along. 60,000 people turned up. It was an amazing scene. That's still an Australian record for the most number of people at a public celebration for a private citizen. It could have also gone into the record books of unmitigated disasters.
My father was actually in the rodeo himself as a kid, and apparently it was just complete chaos. The buck jumpers and the cattle and everything just got spooked by the people, and so there were over 100 casualties, and it's an extraordinary event. The money raised as an admission for it, I think that was given to the Flying Doctor.
And you can read more about that rodeo in this month's issue of SA Life magazine. Stories of Sidney Kidman's ruthless stinginess are legendary, but many possibly wander into the realm of urban myth. So, what was he really like?
It's been said he could sort of speak with, talk in amongst his stockmen around the campfire and talk with the Queen, so he seemed to be comfortable in most circumstances. He was frugal. He was a sort of, certainly from Scottish extraction, he was frugal.
But Kidman was also incredibly generous. During the First World War, he donated 2 fighter planes and other valuable supplies. For that, he became Sir Sidney in 1921. And in that same year, he moved his family back to Adelaide from Kapunda and donated their home to the Education Department to use as a high school. Kapunda was the town where Kidman held his renowned horse sales. Buyers came from interstate and overseas, and at their peak, there were so many horses, the selling would take almost 2 weeks. Sidney Kidman had a reputation for being the right man in the right place with the right idea. He was incredibly astute, but there was one decision he may have lived to regret, and that was BHP. When the company was first starting up, he was given a significant share for just 8 bullocks. Later, he sold that share for £150, and Kidman was happy because he more than doubled his money. But just imagine, 8% of BHP, what would that be worth today? He died in Adelaide in 1935, and he'll always be remembered as Australia's cattle king. But does history treat Sir Sidney Kidman kindly or give him the recognition he truly deserves? Maybe we'll discover the answers to those questions in the photos and stories of this new book. It'll be out in stores in the next few weeks.